718 AD. The Japanese offer sushi for the first time. 1800 AD. The Japanese create modern sushi. 1967. Las Vegas, Nevada. Sushi is perfected.
Hi, I'm Gene Nakanishi, owner of Osaka Japanese Bistro. For the best authentic Japanese cuisine, any dish you find in Japan, you can find it at Osaka. We're located at 4205 West Sahara Avenue. Or visit our Henderson location, just past Horizon Ridge.
Find the cure for Geritol Radio right here in Las Vegas.
The Sex and Money Show takes on cutting-edge topics, has the most interesting guests, and pursues timely topics.
The Sex and Money Show, perfect for Las Vegas and the world.
Join Len Connell for The Sex and Money Show.
Every weekday at high noon.
The Sex and Money Show.
I'll stop sometimes, silly.
It's 12 o'clock, Las Vegas. Time for Sex and Money with Len Connell, Magic Al Jensen, and Dr. Maurice Gregory, Dr. G.
Good afternoon, Las Vegas. Big Magic Al Jensen sitting in for Len Connell this Friday, January 10th, 2014. In studio with Legal Eagle Miller. Miller, good to see you this Friday.
Hey, this is great. First Friday. Well, not the first Friday in the new year, but the
first Friday of the official full first week.
We are well into our 2014 with beautiful weather out there, actually. And
isn't it amazing?
I am so far doing well with my New Year's resolutions, which I don't go well out there and try and make some real crazy ones like, oh, you know, I'm going to lose weight and I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that. I keep them relatively simple. My New Year's resolution was basically like being organized, getting more work done in a timely manner, that sort of thing. And I front-loaded my schedule, you know, by packing a lot of appointments and things to do at the beginning of the week. That way, if I didn't finish it, I had ample time throughout the end of the week to get it done. And it's working absolutely fantastic, thanks to my new CRM that I got back in October.
Really? What's it called?
Plan Plus Online, actually. That's a plug because they are helping me organize myself very well. And I'm learning their system. I'm not big into technology, but it's good for anybody. I'm tracking emails, I'm tracking tasks, I'm tracking documents and calls and you name it. But I listen to I read their news page or whatever they have, and it's been working. So with that, I am well into the 2014 year.
Well, you're ahead of me because I'm still writing 2008 on my checks.
Are you still? Well, you know, I got now. Speaking of writing the wrong date on checks, you know, I remember days past when, you know, I had to pay bills and you'd send in a check, you know, and the bill was due on the 1st, and you'd send it in and make sure they got it on the 1st, but you would date it the 15th, you know, and they would.
Let me write that down. I like that idea.
And they would call up but they would process it and they couldn't process, and they'd be, oh, I put the wrong date on there. Well, just hold on to it so I don't have to write another one in there. Well, those days are long gone, and they've been long gone for quite some time.
That's right.
To this day, get checks from clients, and I know what they're doing, and I get the checks from the clients, and they've got the wrong date on it. And it's sad, though, because banks don't care about the date on the check anymore. I mean, matter of fact, if you go to your ATM to deposit a check, you can deposit a check. It scans it right there, reads the handwriting, reads the denomination, and processes it. The date means absolutely nothing anymore. Yep. So don't go post-dating any checks out there, people, because you think it's not going to go through your bank because of the wrong date. Wrong.
But can I tell you a story? I have literally not written a check since 2008.
Really?
Really.
Wow, I wish I could do that, but I can't do that.
I have not written a I haven't even had a check since 2008. I mean, it's all done electronically. Yeah, with my debit card. You know, I'd pay it online.
Yes.
I mean, everything. You know, mortgage gets paid online, car payment gets paid online, credit card bills get paid online.
It's so cool. Everything's so digital. I mean, even right down to buying coffee at Starbucks. I'm in line with people, and they whip out their phone, and they've got some little app on there, and they just hold their phone up to the Starbucks register, and bing, it pay. I'm always the last to jump on board when it comes to technology.
Are you?
I am, because I'm old school. I'm brick and mortar type of business guy. And the thing is, I know that with technology, there's always the bugs. And the first people who jump on board any kind of new advancement of any technology, they're the ones that find them.
Right, right.
And I don't want to be in that pool of people. And so I'm like last to get CRM management software. I'm the last to start scanning and doing PDF stuff. I'm the last to correspond and go as digital and paperless as I can.
How about a smartphone? Do you have a smartphone?
I do have a smartphone.
Okay.
So I do have, that I use. I love it. I only use two features primarily in my smartphone. Three. One is the fact that I use it as a phone.
Uh-huh.
Two is I love it because I can check my emails.
Okay.
Which is kind of bad because then you take your work with you everywhere.
Well, true.
Three is I use it for payments, and I oftentimes they've got all these when you credit card processing, for example. I in my profession in consulting, oftentimes, everywhere you go, I could sit down for dinner, I can be at a bar or whatever, and someone says, "Let me ask you a question," and then they buy you a $10 drink and proceed to get $400 worth of advice out of you, and so. Years ago, when these processors like Square and all these other places came out, and you could process a credit card just through your phone, right?
Yes.
I got it. I thought it was so neat, and I still use it to this day. The first time I used it, I was literally sitting at a bar in Beverly Hills. I knew the guy. He was a friend of mine. He came up. He said, I got a question for you. I said, well, why don't you call the office, and we'll talk about later scheduled meeting. Well, no, it's just a quick question. I said, I'm going to have to charge you for that. He says, okay, no problem. I'm sure he's thinking, all right, whatever.
Yeah, right,
So
sure.
I said, you got your credit card? Give me your credit card when you get it back from the bar for buying your drink. He laughs, and he says, sure. I said, now, it's going to be like $85. He goes, is it a quick question? Yeah, it's a quick question. $85. He says, all right, whatever. And
as
he's
long
laughing.
as it doesn't take me more than 6 minutes to answer it, it's
Right.
$85.
Exactly, And so quarter hour, $75, whatever. So he says, he's laughing. He says, here you go. Here's my card. So I whip out my phone, and I've got that new Square thing that was
Right,
on there,
yeah.
and I swipe it. And he goes, what'd you do? I go, I just charged you $85. He goes, no, you didn't. I said, yes, I did. I said, but go ahead and ask your question.
Yeah.
He asked the question. We talked. We had a call. He didn't believe me, I guess. Next day, he calls me up. He says, hey, you charged my card $85. I says, I know I did. He goes, what'd you do that for? I said, I told you I was charging you, and you said okay. What, you thought I was joking? He's like, I didn't know you were telling me the truth. I said, so anybody can walk up to you and you just give them your credit card thinking they're joking with you? He's like, oh.
Give me that guy's name and address,
right, yeah,
man. I want to stop by
I
his
should have
house.
charged the whole retainer for
Yeah.
instead of the $85. But I use it and those features are great. So those are the three things I use my smartphone for. I don't scan QR codes and all that and pay with my phone because I know that the airways can be hacked,
Sure.
And I don't want to be paying, and then I've had too much problem with that. I even got hit in that Target thing over the last
Did you
couple
really?
of
That
weeks.
Target
Yep.
scandal where they stole a
Stole
bunch of numbers and things like that?
I got hit with that, and luckily I have a great relationship with my banker, and he caught it. It still cost me money, but I'm waiting for the everything to go back in the.
Well, you and 70 million other people.
Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people got hit with that.
So nobody's exempt from
Nobody
those
is
things.
immune.
So I'm slow to jump on technology.
Okay.
And I know CES is in town, so they don't want me to be saying that.
Well, that's true.
So
That's true. CES is in town. Lots of geeks and nerds and people having a good time here, talking about all the new technology that we're going to be seeing on the store shelves in the next few months.
yes, and the casinos are packed, the bars, the
Oh,
restaurants.
aren't they though?
I attempted to get a driver. I was calling up the company I normally use to get a driver over to drive me around, do some errands, and do some things. And they said, "Sorry, Mr. Miller, but we're booked all week. We don't have one single car.
Mm-hmm.
We don't have a sedan. We don't have a town car. We don't have a limit. We have nothing." And I thought about it. I said, "Oh my goodness, CES is in
Right.
town." So if you're not like everybody's out there calling up Beltrans and Ambassador Limo to get rides, but CES brings a lot of money to us.
Yes, they do. Thank you
Keeps
very
us
much.
from having to pay income tax in this great state of Nevada.
Exactly. So keep on coming.
Bring it in.
Keep
Keep
on
us-
coming. Our utility bill is due in a couple of days. So, yeah.
See
play
how that
those
changed.
machines
We're
and
gonna
play
see
those
how that
table
changed.
games.
We've got, the casinos keep us from having to pay our state corporate tax and income tax, and they bring in all the majority of the revenue along
right.
with mining. People forget the mining industry.
It's
That's
huge.
still huge in Nevada.
Right.
Keeps us from paying all those taxes. So support your mining industry. Support
That's
the
right.
casinos.
Although I understand the mining industry pays just such a pittance of a tax due to some really old legislation on the books.
Right. And, the thing is this. I don't like to knock it when they say, well, they don't pay enough. They should pay more. Well, listen, if you want someone to pay more, don't complain about what they're paying now. you know what? Change the law.
Yeah.
And then we will comply. Companies and businesses will comply with the law. They have to, but be careful now, because sometimes when we try and make companies and business owners, even small business owners, end up footing the brunt, because it's very hard to say, well, we want this industry to pay more because we know they make more. You start getting into the realm of really kind of like corporate discrimination for the most part.
That's true.
So you got to be careful. That stuff can hurt, because whenever, for whatever reason, we get legislation and on the top, it's superficial, that it's supposed to help the poor and help the downtrodden and help the people that don't make so much, like Obamacare, it ends up affecting us in ways that we were warned it would, but no one seemed to believe. And I'll use Obamacare as an example. I couldn't even afford to pay for half of my mother's medicine that I picked a couple of days ago. I went to the pharmacist to pick up some medicine, and I went in with what I normally pay. I couldn't even pick up half of her medicine, and I couldn't even pick up any of mine because I didn't have the cash on me. It had gone up. Some of her copays went from $3 to $8. Some of them that were $8 went to $24. What she would normally pay like $70 or $80 went to like $198 because of Obamacare.
And what insurance is she under?
I haven't the slightest idea.
Well, then how can you blame it on Obamacare?
Well, because it wouldn't have come into effect, because here's the thing. Regardless of what insurance you have, all the insurance regulations fall under the same federal regulations. Whenever the federal regulations change, all the insurance companies, just like any other corporation, they adjust their rates to supplement any losses from other divisions. So what we fail to realize is it seems like we have thousands and millions of insurance companies out there, which in fact we do, but oftentimes they're owned by one major company. So like one company may own 70 other insurance companies doing business as different names in different states. So what happens is something like Obamacare, affects the health industry, requires that such and such insurance company allows these provisions, allows these people, allows whatever. That insurance company says, well, this is going to cost us X amount of dollars. They're within their rights to either increase their fees in some other way. It's no different than 7-Eleven charging 50 cents more for gum. Penny candy doesn't exist anymore.
Right.
Remember when you could buy penny candy?
I sure do.
Well, it doesn't exist because it was regulated out. Taxes on businesses and small businesses made it so that it was not profitable. You can't buy penny candy anymore.
Well, you can, but you got to pay a dime for it now.
But you got to pay a dime for it, 10 pennies rather.
Yeah.
But just little things like that people, and that's how, regardless of whether I know what insurance company it is, you can only relate it, especially since it happened after the first.
No, but I got to disagree with you. You cannot blame that on Obamacare.
I'm okay.
There's no way you can tie that to Obamacare. I mean,
that's a challenge, huh? Is that a challenge?
That's a challenge.
Oh,
man. There's no way you can make a lawyer's argument.
Okay.
I mean, less than 40 links long that will tie that back to Obamacare.
Less than 40 links.
I mean,
so you admit
on.
that I can tie it, just not within 40 links.
And just don't use the Rush Limbaugh logic, okay?
Oh, wow.
Rush Limbaugh logic is not allowed on this show.
I won't use Rush Limbaugh logic.
I had a caller who just wanted me to say really fast, could you stop bashing Obamacare? I wanted to thank Al for asking questions.
Oh, wow. Oh, wonderful.
Thanks, Steve. I appreciate the call.
Was that Steve? Who was that caller? I want to talk to that caller.
Right.
I had my share of bashing on about the prosecutor who was it ever determined that she killed herself, or we're just investigating it still?
I don't think
hasn't been determined yet.
Determination is
she was found dead, but the coroner hasn't come back with the ruling for the cause of death.
Right.
So I've been bashed on the internet, and I've got some comments that I'm going to mention later on about that, and some things that some people have been saying about me being misogynistic and just all these things. And my comments weren't opinions. I made comments that were simply like fact, like someone wanted to know why the judge had only been suspended and why he didn't get fired back when this all came up. And I just simply explained the reason for it. And then when we come back, I'm going to go into a little of that. I do want to talk about now that we mentioned the caller.
We've got to go to our first break.
I want to talk to that caller.
You're
Call
listening
back
to the Legal Eagle Briefs edition of the Sex and Money Show right here on KLAV AM 1230. Back in a moment.
Do you know what Ganodermic is? Let's get you on a safe, effective, natural, integrated approach to weight control, pain management, and your best health. Maybe I can help. Call me, Dr. G, 702-822-1356. My office is located at 2020 Gold Ring, Suite 503, Las Vegas, Nevada, between Valley Hospital and University Medical Center, and start living.
When faced with a legal matter, contact Legal Solutions to You. We are a multi-state network of the top attorneys available, specializing in a wide range of services, including
personal injury, immigration, bankruptcy, criminal matters, business matters, and many more.
Quality legal representation is essential. Our goal is to provide the best legal representation available.
Stop being a victim.
Call us toll-free 855-775-2928. That's 855-77-LAW-TO-YOU. Or visit us online at legalsolutions2you.com.
Hey, what you doing?
I'm logging on to the Vegas AllNet Radio website to hear last week's episode of the Sex and Money Show.
Ooh, hear past episodes of the Sex and Money Show Mondays from 4 p.m. to 8 p.m. and 10 p.m. to 11.
Wasn't last week's episode good?
It was so good.
The Sex and Money Show rebroadcast streaming on VegasAllNetRadio.com.
Hi, I'm Miller of M&A Legal Management. We are committed to providing high-quality services and customer satisfaction.
M&A Legal Management provides business concierge-level services, combining all the unique services of executive representative, personal assistant, personal agent, and more.
Business startup packages beginning at $49. We do patents, trademarks, divorces, and court filings too, and customized legal research starting at our $19.99 hourly rate.
We will do everything we can to meet your expectations. Call M&A Legal Management at 888-449-5841 or visit us online at www.localbusinessservices.us.
Julia Sarah Boutique for the best in upscale fashions at affordable prices. Choose from a wide selection of dresses, gowns, jackets, boots, shoes, and more. Ladies and gentlemen's fashions available. Whatever your personal style, Julia Sarah Boutique has everything you need to look your best. Call 888-449-5841 or like us on Facebook for special promotions and invitations.
And now, your sexy traffic report on the Sex and Money Show.
And here's your traffic for this Friday, January 10th, noon hour in Las Vegas. We have an accident, Sunset Road, just east of Eastern. In northwest Las Vegas, an accident on Lake Mead Boulevard, westbound, just west of the 95. In Las Vegas, an accident on the on-ramp of the 215 Beltway westbound at Sunset. That's the McCarran Airport Connector, exit number 10. We have an accident just cleared, Craig Road at Rancho, and an accident, the on-ramp, US 95 northbound at Rancho, exit number 77. And we have an accident, the right shoulder, I-15 northbound, just past Russell. That is your Sex and Money Show traffic report for 12/15, Friday, January 10th, 2014. Back in a moment.
Hi, I'm Gene Nakanishi, owner of Osaka Japanese Bistro. For the best authentic Japanese cuisine, we are the first authentic Japanese bistro established in 1967.
Enjoy a fine evening of jazz at Osaka Japanese Bistro's Henderson location, featuring the Naked Fish Band, offering 3 fine dining experiences, choosing from the sushi bar, the teppanyaki grill, and traditional tatami rooms, all at the same location.
Any dish you find in Japan, you can find it at Osaka. We are located at 10920 Southeastern Avenue, just past Horizon Ridge. Or visit our original location on West Sahara next to the Statue of Liberty.
And we're back on the Sex and Money Show this Friday, January 10th, 2014. Big Magic Al Jensen sitting in for Len Connell this, at least the first part of the show. I think we may have Len in the second half of the show.
Yes.
With Legal Eagle Miller on the Legal Brief Show.
Oh man, listen.
Hey Miller, before you get to that, I want you to know that I just read a report from the Midwest up in Michigan.
Yes.
Hell has officially frozen over.
Wait a minute. Am I getting married again?
Hell has officially frozen. No, you're not getting married.
Is my ex-wife back?
No, that's not the case. Hell, Michigan has frozen over.
Oh, hell, Michigan.
Hell, Michigan has frozen over. It has been cold in the Midwest. Did you watch that football game in Green Bay last Sunday afternoon when it was like 1,000,000 degrees below zero?
What do you think, Al?
Yeah, I think you probably didn't.
I did not watch.
But it was like single digits, maybe zero, and maybe even a few degrees below zero, and then a little bit of wind chill. It was just downright nasty.
I did hear that. I think that's now taken the record for being the coldest game or something.
Well, I don't think it finally.
It didn't.
I don't think
it never did.
They were anticipating that it was going to get a little colder and a little more wind.
Okay.
But still, I mean, it was nasty cold in Green Bay, and Hell, Michigan officially frozen over. So there you have it.
Wow. So I've got something that this is one of my tangents, listeners. Here's a tangent, but I try to pride myself on and to our previous caller who wanted me to stop bashing Obama, I will oblige you.
Obamacare.
There you
yes.
Go. I will oblige you for a brief moment and move on from that topic. But what I do want to talk about is the Las Vegas Sun. They had posted an article about the Las Vegas judge who dated former prosecutor finds her dead at home. And I wanted to clear up for the listeners and those who follow me about some postings and some comments that I actually had made.
Okay.
Of course, people get in and they post comments about the article, and everybody's going back and forth over, was she killed? Was it suicide? The judge should know better. She should know better, et cetera, et cetera. Well, someone had asked the question about why the judge was only suspended and why wasn't he fired? And I said, well, listen, you don't fire people outright when they're accused of something, because should they prevail in a lawsuit or prevail and prove themselves not guilty or innocent or not liable, then they're going to have a wrongful termination suit against you.
Right.
So you suspend them, wait to see what happens to the circumstances, and then if they lose or if they're found liable, guilty, or responsible or whatever, then you terminate their employment. So I answered a question that was posted on there that way. And I got some responses that were like, okay, great. Nice to know. I didn't know it. There you go. Okay, makes sense. I then read a little further, and I see plenty of postings that say, well, the judge should know better, and she was some innocent woman that was falling in love, and he took advantage of her. And I'd like to point out, I don't make an opinion of it because I wasn't there.
Right.
The only thing I mention is that, listen, this prosecutor was a 45-year-old woman who had the same education as Judge Jones, who was educated enough and old enough, a grown woman. She wasn't a 19-year-old intern smitten by the older professional that was her boss. And by the way, Judge Jones is not the boss of any prosecutor.
That's correct.
Why is it that she's considered innocent in this? She has a duty, just like the judge may have had a duty, to say, well, I'm not going to present any cases before him because we are in a relationship. She knows the same laws that the judge knows.
Right.
The judge, likewise, yes, maybe he should have said, I'm not going to rule on a case that you're presenting because we're in a relationship.
Right.
Now, neither
Which
of them,
he definitely should have done.
Exactly, and neither of them did that. My only point is, I'm getting bashed left and right. I got one posting where a lady says, and I think I'm going to respond, and I want them to call in because I want to go into delve a little deeply into this. I've been called a misogynist, and why is it always the woman's fault? I've never said it was her fault.
I think you're absolutely correct there.
Right?
Absolutely
I've never
correct.
said it was her fault. Personally, I think it's both of their fault. They're both adults,
right?
Professionals with the same degrees now. We're in an age where women can be educated, women are educated, and statistically and as of right now, there are more women in law school scheduled to graduate than there are men.
Okay.
And it has been that way for the last 10 years. So I'm not here to say, oh, I support Judge Jones. I agree he did nothing wrong. Oh, no. I believe, including myself, and anything that I have done and anything that anybody else has done, whether it was unethical or whether it was illegal. Listen, I've gotten traffic tickets. I've been fined. I've been late on taxes and been fined. I've paid my dues. I am not supporting anybody's actions. I am just answering questions that people asked about specifics, not giving an opinion of who's right, who's wrong. I'm not supporting Judge Jones. Was he a friend? Is he a friend of mine? Yes. Okay. I've got plenty of friends that I don't agree with some of their actions and things that they do. But let's not hang people out to dry here. What happened was not a crime. Maybe it was unethical. Now, it's my understanding that we don't know yet why she died or how she died.
We don't know the cause of death. Has not been released yet.
Some people are saying, why are we assuming she committed suicide? I'm not assuming she committed suicide. Why are we assuming, though, that her death is foul play either?
You can't do that.
We can't do that. So until all the evidence is in, listeners, hold back a little bit. But I challenge, and I would like for anyone out there that does have an opinion on this matter to call into the studio. I'd like to hear your opinion, and I'd like to give you my opinion. Hey, 702-731-1230. You can call in. I'll make sure you get through.
Excellent.
All right.
Excellent.
So, and I'm going to make sure if any of the listeners are out there and have posted to that Las Vegas Sun's posting, that I'm going to be inviting you on other shows to call in with why you replied to me or commented in the ways that you commented.
All right, do that. Give us a call, 731-1230, right here in beautiful Las Vegas. And while we're waiting for those phone calls to come in, I got a question to ask you here about a situation that that has occurred within this last week in Oklahoma City. You familiar with that story?
Is this the atomic wedgie?
This is the atomic wedgie story. A 33-year-old Oklahoma man has been charged with killing his stepfather by giving him an atomic wedgie that caused the victim to suffocate from his own underwear.
Oh, what a horrible way to die.
That would be just a horrible way to die, wouldn't it?
What a horrible way to die.
Now, I can't even imagine that the term atomic wedgie has made it into the news.
And precedent now.
Yeah. I mean, now we're going to be hearing these stories all along.
Because, wow, I mean, we all remember that. Luckily, was I a nerd in school? I guess by definition I could have been classified as a nerd, but I was a nerd with bodyguards. I never got slammed into a locker or wedgied.
Yeah, and I mean, a wedgie is one thing, but an atomic wedgie, and that, let's just define that if we can. That's where the waistband of your underwear gets pulled up so high it actually goes over top of your head and then covers the front of your face.
The medical examiner says that the cause of death was asphyxiation and blunt force trauma. I mean,
That's right.
Could you imagine that? But this guy must have been extremely strong. I mean, how does a grown man get a wedgie against his will? No, first off, whether you're grown or not, it's always against your will.
Well, would it surprise you to learn that alcohol was involved?
Oh, well, there you have it.
There you have it. So we're talking.
But it was not Frankovich Manhattan's.
No, it was not.
That is the classy drink.
I think it was Old Milwaukee beer.
It was probably some
Falstaff,
some English
Schlitz,
probably a malt liquor.
Old style.
Maybe
I don't know. It's some kind of alcohol was involved, and they got into a fight. And apparently, the stepson said some disparaging comments about his mother, whom his stepfather, of course, was married to, and that was the beginning of the argument.
Well, I understand, because let somebody talk about my mother, and I'll try my best to find someone else to give them
this was a case where you would be talking about your mother.
Oh.
Yeah, you were saying bad things about your mother.
And he defended.
And he defended.
The stepfather.
Stepfather defended her.
What?
So they got into this argument. And
I'm a mama's boy. He shouldn't have been talking about his mom.
That's right. Shouldn't have been doing
He should not have been talking about his mom like that.
That's right. So. And what else is in the news? There is this brain-dead California teenager that has ultimately undergone surgery now, I understand.
And what is it? Does it look good? I mean...
No, there's absolutely
no response,
no medical hope whatsoever, according to the doctors who have treated this poor teenager, 13 years old, in the Oakland area. She went in for a tonsillectomy and had some complications with the surgery. And after the surgery, she was declared brain dead and had been kept alive for a couple of weeks.
They've been fighting back and forth on whether or not to take her off the life support. And
right.
The hospital wanted to take her off the life support. The family brought a motion to demand that the hospital be stayed from taking her off life support, and then moved, I believe, to another facility.
That's right. Wanted to move her to another facility and get some surgery. But, from a medical perspective, I don't think anyone has come forward and said that there is a likelihood that this can be reversed.
Oh, it's a sad situation.
Yes.
But you know what? When you've been called home, sometimes you just have to, take the ride.
Well, and it's got to be a tough thing for parents. They're dealing with a 13-year-old child here, and I can understand they don't want to give up hope. They want to exhaust every last possible medical option.
Yes.
And apparently grasping at straws. But it's been like 28 days now, so almost a month, and it just doesn't look like there's going to be an opportunity.
Yes, there have been cases
recovery
where years later someone's come back, but that's so rare that, and that's just a real rare situation. Listen, to take us out.
We've got to go to a break. It is 12:30. We will be back after the break. We've got another exciting guest coming in after this break. Stick with us. You're listening to the Legal Briefs edition of the Sex and Money Show on KLAV AM 1230. Back in a moment.
Neurology.
Chronic pain sufferers. Tired of being enslaved to opiates? Tired of being hooked on pills? Break free. Call Dr. G, 702-822-1356. My office is located at 2020 Gold Ring, Suite 503, Las Vegas, Nevada, between Valley Hospital and University Medical Center. Stop counting pills and start counting days of relief.
I'm Manhattan Miller, and I'm what happens in Vegas. From Paris to London, New York to Las Vegas, whether I'm out on the town or at home with your significant other, two things are for sure. I'm old school Vegas, and I always drink Frankovich Manhattans, handcrafted in micro batches by Frankovich Distillers, Reno, Nevada. Enjoy Frankovich Manhattan cocktails responsibly. Available now at select Costco, Total Wine, and Walmart stores.
The Cool Trade, the next generation of automated stock trading. Cool Trade is a 100% point-and-click robotic trading system. Cool Trade levels the playing field and allows you to trade at home the same way as the traders at major financial institutions. Don't worry, our software is easy to learn and easy to use. No one can predict what stocks will do, but we do know that they'll go up and down. Cool Trade is designed to trade the market for you and has the ability to make profits either way. Whether you're new to online investing, an experienced investor, or an active trader, Cool Trade is all you need to succeed. It's time to regain confidence in the market and join the robotic trading revolution. Take action today.
Call M&A Legal Management at 888-449-5841 or visit us online at www.anybodytrade.com.
Cool Trader Pro and Cool Trade do not make, buy, sell, or hold recommendations. Unique experiences and past performances do not guarantee future results. Cool Trader Pro and Cool Trade are software-related companies and are not licensed broker-dealers. Investing in the stock market can be considered high risk, and participants should consult with their financial advisors regarding risk and suitability.
I'm a bad boy.
Good people get arrested.
That is true.
They took you to jail.
Now what do you do?
890-30 bail bonds will be there for you.
Call us at 702-648-2663. That's 648-BOND.
You've been a very bad girl.
At Your Service Cleaning Services is a family-owned business,
providing you the best in punctual, thorough, and respectful residential and commercial cleaning services.
Our staff is uniformed, licensed, and bonded. We are able to provide rust services, and we supply all cleaning materials and equipment.
Call 888-449-5841. That's 888-449-5841.
Do you know what Ganoderma is? Let's get you on a safe, effective, natural, integrated approach to weight control, pain management, and your best health. Maybe I can help. Call me, Dr. G, 702-822-1356. My office is located at 2020 Gold Ring, Suite 503, Las Vegas, Nevada, between Valley Hospital and University Medical Center, and start living.
Hey, what's it doing?
I'm logging on to the Vegas AllNet Radio website to hear last week's episode of the Sex and Money Show.
Hear past episodes of the Sex and Money Show Mondays from 4 p.m. to 8 p.m. and 10 p.m. to 11.
Wasn't last week's episode good?
It was so good.
The Sex and Money Show rebroadcast streaming on VegasAllNetRadio.com.
Hey, what's the weather for the weekend gonna be? Will it be hot, cold, rain, snow?
And now, your sexy weather report on the Sex and Money Show.
Here's your Sex and Money Show weather report for this Friday, January 10th in 2014. Today, we're looking at nothing but sunny skies, high of 64 degrees, overnight low of 39, not a chance of rain in the forecast. Light winds today, south-southeast at 3. Over the next 5 days, we're looking at highs in the mid-60s to upper 60s by next Tuesday, lows around 37 to 40 degrees overnight, mild winds, and nothing but sunshine. We're living in Las Vegas, and this certainly compares greatly to Hell, Michigan, which has officially frozen over. That is the Sex and Money Show weather report for today, Friday, January 10th, 2014. Back in a moment.
Hi, I'm Gene Nakanishi, owner of Osaka Japanese Bistro. For the best authentic Japanese cuisine, we are the first authentic Japanese bistro established in 1967.
Enjoy a fine evening of jazz at Osaka Japanese Bistro's Henderson location, featuring the Naked Fish Band, offering 3 fine dining experiences, choosing from the sushi bar, the teppanyaki grill, and traditional tatami rooms, all at the same location.
Any dish you find in Japan, you can find it at Osaka. We are located at 10920 Southeastern Avenue, just past Horizon Ridge. Or visit our original location on West Sahara next to the Statue of Liberty.
All right, we're back on the Sex and Money Show today, Friday, January 10th. Big Magic Al Jensen sitting in the driver's seat that Len Connell normally sits in, along with Miller, our Legal Briefs Legal Eagle expert. And we actually have... Miller, you want to say something?
No, I'm actually just laughing. Someone's correcting me on my spelling, but I take that well.
Okay, I mean, come on, we hold you to a higher standard now. You're on the radio, you should be able to spell.
You know, the problem is technology has, speaking of neurology and all that sort of thing, I think
Speaking of neurology,
or soon to be speaking of neurology.
Okay, there you go.
One of the things, brain function in remembering things, and you remember the days where you had everyone you knew, you memorized their phone number.
I knew 8 people.
You knew, but even if you knew 100 people, you may have not have remembered their phone number until you got ready to call them, but you still recalled their phone number.
Sure.
Whereas now, because we've got auto dial and everything, you just hit a button. People don't remember. People don't remember anymore.
That's right.
Someone just corrected me on my spelling. I'm going to blame it up to what is it? Spell check.
Spell check and autocorrect and all that kind of. Okay. All right.
So, I'm sorry.
That's all right. Anyhow, we do have in studio, Len Connell has made a special surprise appearance. Len, you have a special guest. Bring
Exactly.
him on.
I'm the backseat driver today, and I'd like to bring on our special guest, Dr. Leone. And Dr. Leone is from the Nevada Neurohealth Center, nurturing the potential of our community. And what he does, he does neurofeedback and brain therapy. Very interesting, man. We're going to talk a little bit about that because, as you know, in my family, I have some issues with some of my relatives that have some slight brain disorders from strokes and different things like that. And that's why I met Dr. Leone and his staff. And I want to tell him kind of what he does. Welcome, Dr. Leone, to the show.
Thank you.
Now, what's your background? Where are you from originally?
I'm from Mexico, Guadalajara, Mexico.
Okay, and you're a doctor or a medical doctor from Mexico, but you're pending medical doctor certification here, correct?
Exactly.
Okay. And at this point, how long have you been in Las Vegas?
5 years. 5 years since I back from the medical school, but I lived here before.
Great. Now let's talk about what you do. You do an interesting process called neurofeedback, where you can change people's behavior through the process that you work with. Would you explain that a little bit, how that works?
Well, neurofeedback is an adjustment service to psychiatric services, individual therapy, family therapy as well. What we do with neurofeedback is we try to help people modify brain activity with equipment, computer equipment, and electroencephalogram equipment.
So what you do is that you'll hook a person up to an encephalogram, and that's the device that measures brain waves, right?
Exactly.
And what are some of the brain waves? Well, you have alpha waves, and
alpha, beta,
theta. And so I know the beta waves, for example, when I had to take some high blood pressure medication, the drug had a beta blocker. So the lower the beta waves, the better off your blood pressure was supposed to be.
It is different. It's not your medication goes to the receptors, the beta blocker receptors. But a beta brain waves is totally different than medication you're taking.
So what do people do if a person comes into your clinic and they say, well, I want to have some neurofeedback and change some behavior? What do they normally expect? You do some brain mapping first, correct?
Yes, we do the brain mapping. Once we do the brain mapping, we're able to determine which areas of the brain need to be worked with.
And so you actually just look at you put the electrodes all over the person's head, and you measure all the different wave patterns, and they fluctuate back and forth, and then you compare them to norms or something along those lines?
Exactly. We have a normal database. We compare those brain waves, and we determine through the brain waves, but not only through the brain waves, also the symptoms of the patients.
Aha. So what are some of the kind of conditions that people would come in to see you for treatment? What are some of the things that they have? Like, say, for example, if a person had an eating disorder, could you consider treating that person?
Yes, like I said in the beginning, it's not a solo therapy. It has to be in conjunction with individual therapy, psychiatric, probably medication if they need to have medication as well.
So really that you would have a team of people. So I would come in, then you would brain map me, give me a diagnosis. I would tell you what my symptoms are and what my problems are. And then there would be so much neurofeedback. And then you might even recommend me to a neurologist.
Neurologist, per your psychiatry, if they need to be
psychiatry too.
Yes,
you know.
Exactly.
So as part of a comprehensive therapy where I would see you, but I would also maybe go to a psychologist or a psychiatrist, get to the root of whatever my problems are. I know. How many of you guys have been recommending that for me?
Yeah, right? No kidding. Yeah, all the time. I noticed, though, going to your website, Nevada Neuro Health Center.com, and I selected under the services that you provide. It says that it's effective for the following conditions, and it lists chronic pain. And I know, having been married also, that headaches can go under that guise of chronic pain. And aside from my marriage, I personally suffered a brain injury, not a brain injury, I'm sorry, but a head injury last month, and since then I've had chronic pain. I've been, I was given some prescription pain pills and this sort of, and I'm not big into taking pills. I just not me. So what could you, what would you would be able to determine, what that pain was affecting or where it was coming from, or
Well, in your case, we might be able to do a brain mapping, and we see if there is any brainwave activity, there are dysfunction or they are out of range. If we see that, then we can treat that area. Yeah, but neurofeedback is more focusing on the mental ill people, or people who needs to improve memory.
Okay.
Not only for areas in the area people who needs or have a specific illnesses, also for areas that people need to improve memory. A lot of this sport,
PTSD,
yes,
maybe?
PTSD.
Yeah. ADHD, post-traumatic stress, and also if you want to improve your sport, if you want to put accuracy in your sport, they can do neurofeedback for that as well.
So a lot of things, and then also too, maybe our addictions like gambling addiction and different things like that. You could work with them as well.
Yes, exactly.
So from what you said, we watch a film, we watch a movie, we have these brain receptors on us, and then the waves that you want us to produce more of or less of, tell the movie to come back on. So that's how we kind of get the reward thing going, correct?
Exactly. Either through a movie or video game, we control the.
Okay, go ahead. Keep going.
Yeah, we control the on the video game. You control the movement of the video game and how fast it will be controlled to your brain activity.
Aha. So it's sort of the thing that if I want to keep watching my movie or keep my video game going, I've got to reduce those waves. And then what that does is ultimately tends to help cure that disorder.
Exactly. Once you downregulate or upregulate your brain activity, it stays with you maybe for 30 minutes, but the more training you do, the effects is longer and longer. It's like going in the gym with the.
Okay, Al, go ahead.
All right, we've got to go to our final break. Stick with us. We'll be back with more of the Sex and Money Show in just a moment.
Talking to Mitch Cove cost you nothing, but not talking to him and missing out on the best options to market your home could cost you a bundle. Mitch Cove and his team of agents allow you to list it, sell it, and move on. Call Mitch Cove today at 702-306-2196 and get the facts at mitchcove.com. That's MITCHKOVE.com.
An equal housing opportunity realtor.
When faced with a legal matter, contact Legal Solutions to You. We are a multi-state network of the top attorneys available, specializing in a wide range of services, including
personal injury, immigration, bankruptcy, criminal matters, business matters, and many more.
Quality legal representation is essential. Our goal is to provide the best legal representation available.
Stop being a victim.
Call us toll-free 855-775-2928. That's 855-77-LAW-TO-YOU. Or visit us online at legalsolutions.com.
Howdy, Dr. G here. Do you suffer from androgen deficiency? Some symptoms of androgen deficiency include reduced muscle mass, decreased body and facial hair, increased breast size, feeling irritable or depressed, poor concentration, or low, slow libido, low, slow physical performance. Things are just not like they used to be. Maybe Dr. G can help. Call my office, 702-822-1356 for an appointment. My office is located at 2020 Gold Ring Avenue, next to Valley Hospital, just north of UMC. Always remember, good health is always sexy.
Hi, I'm Noah, host of the Legal Brief segment of the Sex and Money Show, where we will discuss the law of the land in a sexy, in-your-face manner.
Controversy with a Y, and he doesn't pull any punches.
From high noon to 1 p.m. on the Sex and Money Show.
The Cool Trade, the next generation of automated stock trading. Cool Trade is a 100% point-and-click robotic trading system. Cool Trade levels the playing field and allows you to trade at home the same way as the traders at major financial institutions. Don't worry, our software is easy to learn and easy to use. No one can predict what stocks will do, but we do know that they'll go up and down. Cool Trade is designed to trade the market for you and has the ability to make profits either way. Whether you're new to online investing, an experienced investor, or an active trader, Cool Trade is all you need to succeed. It's time to regain confidence in the market and join the robotic trading revolution. Take action today.
Call M&A Legal Management at 888-449-5841 or visit us online at www.anybodytrade.com.
Cool Trader Pro and Cool Trade do not make, buy, sell, or hold recommendations. Unique experiences and past performances do not guarantee future results. Cool Trader Pro and Cool Trade are software-related companies and are not licensed broker-dealers. Investing in the stock market can be considered high risk, and participants should consult with their financial advisors regarding risk and suitability.
And now, your sexy traffic report on the Sex and Money Show.
All right, your Sex and Money Show traffic report for this Friday noon hour, January 10th. We have an accident still working on Lake Mead Boulevard westbound, just to the west of the US 95. In Las Vegas, the on-ramp to the 215 Beltway westbound at Sunset Road, the McCarran Airport connector, still have an issue going on there. The on-ramp, US 95 northbound at Rancho, we have an accident as well. An accident, the right shoulder, I-15 northbound after Russell. And we're experiencing slow traffic in the Henderson area at St. Rose Parkway, westbound between Paseo Verde and Eastern Avenue. And this just in from New Jersey. A lane closure on the George Washington Bridge is clogging a major artery, causing a huge traffic jam. Governor Christie is denying personal involvement. He says that he is currently at a restaurant clogging his own arteries at the time. That's it for the Sex and Money Show traffic report. Back in a moment.
Hi, I'm Gene Nakanishi, owner of Osaka Japanese Bistro. For the best authentic Japanese cuisine, we are the first authentic Japanese bistro established in 1967.
Enjoy a fine evening of jazz at Osaka Japanese Bistro's Henderson location, featuring the Naked Fish Band, offering 3 fine dining experiences, choosing from the sushi bar, the teppanyaki grill, and traditional tatami rooms, all at the same location.
Any dish you find in Japan, you can find it at Osaka. We are located at 10920 Southeastern Avenue, just past Horizon Ridge. Or visit our original location on West Sahara next to the Statue of Liberty.
And we're back on the Sex and Money Show this Friday, January 10th, 2014. Even though hell has frozen over in Michigan, we are experiencing wonderful weather here in Las Vegas. Big Magic Al Jensen sitting in for Len Connell in the driver's seat, along with Legal Eagle Miller. But, Len Connell is in studio. He's in the co-pilot seat. Len, you've got, why don't you bring back our guest?
Flying the plane.
Yeah,
we're bringing back Dr. Leone, who's from the Nevada Neuro Health Center, and want to continue with the questions. He does neurofeedback, all kinds of neurotherapy, works with all kinds of other professionals, and has a great service here in Las Vegas. Doctor, we talked a little bit about the need of family therapy, that if you're going to treat one person, it's best to treat the whole family. Why is that important?
Well, any mental illnesses affect not only the individual, but also affect the whole family. So there is a lot of repercussions and a lot of members of the family that are affected in different ways. So it's very necessary to offer services to every individual member of the family as well.
Exactly. And the thing is, like I say, you've got to get the whole family on the same sheet of music, because both people could be suffering from the same illness, but one person reaches out and the other person doesn't. And also, too, probably that family environment, you don't want the person to backslide. And that happens a lot when people go through motivational classes. The one guy says, hey, I'm motivated, I'm ready to do this, and his family's going, it never works, like that, So, Doctor, how do we get in touch with you if we want to find out more about what you do? What telephone number do we call?
You can call the number. It's 702-778-0830.
That's 778-0830, area code 702. And you're located on 2780 South Jones, Suite 105. That, the last time I heard, that's pretty much close to the KLAV studios. I guess we're going to send you lots of patients, I mean, half the shows here probably need some neurofeedback, but it's on the corner of Jones and Sahara, more or less.
Yes.
So you just, it's one click south of there, and that's perfect. So once again, 778-0830, area code 702, the Nevada Neuro Health Center, 2780 South Jones Suite 105. And also, you have a website for people to learn more, which I believe is www.nevadaneurohealthcenter.com. Correct?
That's correct.
That's great. Well, I mean, I think that I know where the staff of KLAV is going to be sending me in the not-too-distant future. So, Alan Miller, what do you got going for the weekend?
My goodness. I have a program over at the Toastmasters Leadership Institute tomorrow. I'll be telling them all about the National Speakers Association and how the NSA Las Vegas can help.
Very good. Al, also, the doctor has an open house for the Nevada Neuro Center. Why don't we talk a little bit about that?
Tell us about that.
Sure. Let me find all the information.
Okay.
All right.
Because that's coming up pretty close, right?
Yeah, we're going to have an open house on Thursday, January 23rd, 4 p.m. to 7 p.m.
And that's at 2780 South Jones, Suite number 105, the Nevada Neuro Health Center.
Open house.
Open house. And we're going to have some refreshments. So.
Ooh, snacks? I'm always down for snacks.
Brain food,
That's right.
Brain food, okay.
Thanks for stopping by.
All right, thanks for being with us this noon hour on today's Sex and Money Show. If you missed any part of the Sex and Money Show, tune in to VegasAllNetRadio.com. We're going to replay this show in its entirety, 10 p.m. tonight. Check us out on Facebook and come back and see us again next week. We're here Monday through Friday from noon until 1 p.m. We've got the happy hour show. We've got the late night Super Saturday night show on Saturday night and lots of other shows. So check us out on KLAV 1230am.com. We'll see you again here next Monday morning at noon. Say goodbye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.